my household. Money was stressful. Money was tight. I'm a twin, and my parents didn't know they were having twins. So in 1979, my parents had this beautiful, healthy baby boy. They had a 3-year-old daughter at home, and they were like, yay, our baby's born. And then all of a sudden, the doctor 4 minutes later said, wait, there's more. And that was me. And I was like, surprise, extra baby in the house. And from then on, our house was very small. There was never enough. In a blue-collar family, my dad never made more than $60,000 a year. And I learned about money through hard knocks, through my own struggles. And I'm going to share some of my story with you today. But I want you to hear that I'm not on a high horse here at all. I'm just here to level with you and let you know there are some things that I've learned through my own struggles with money. And I want to share those things with you so that you can have a new reality with money. Who wants that? Who wants a new reality with money? And that's why you're here today. I believe ultimately that is why you are here. Cool? Okay, so that was me, 2016, stressed out, looking at my money, losing sleep at night. Who can relate to that? Didn't know what I was going to do. And I was in the pinnacle of my financial failure. I was in the middle of losing everything in my life. I didn't know what I was doing. I was actually a financial advisor at the time, and I felt super stuck. I really just wanted to be able to help people. That's why I went into the finance career. That's why I decided to go into finance. I just wanted to be able to help people. But I was stuck in my own limiting beliefs with money. I was getting help from people that ultimately didn't really know how to help me. And I felt confused. I felt lost. I felt stuck. And I was really not clear on what to do. In 2016, I was a financial advisor, and I was negative $300 a month in my bank account every single month. On top of that, my husband was in and out of work. He lost his job 3 times over the course of 3 years, from 2014 to 2017. And I went from having $100,000 saved in my 401k, $100,000 saved by the time I was 31. And I was down to my last $20,000, and I was freaking out. And I had credit card debt. I lost my house in the 2008 downturn. My perfect life in my 20s that I had worked so hard for was going down the toilet pretty fast, and I didn't know what to do. I felt like a failure. As a financial advisor even, I felt like a failure. I was losing it all. I was in the process of losing it all, watching it go downhill very, very fast, and it was very, very scary. And a fraud. I was telling millionaires in my high net worth firm that I was working for what to do with their money, and I didn't know what to do with mine, and I didn't know who to ask for help. And we were on the verge of losing it all. It was the scariest time of my life. And then something happened. I reached my hand up and I asked for help. I lost my 401k, my retirement savings was gone. I wasn't making money in my business. My marriage was on the rocks, which we ended up getting a divorce ultimately. I had credit card debt. My son was 3 years old. I was burned out. I was maxed out. I didn't know what to do. And I did something smart at the time, which was a huge stretch out of my own comfort zone. And I hired a coach. I gave her my last, I had $20,000 left in 2016. She made me an offer to work with her and her amazing group called the Femmes, and it cost $10,000. So here I am freaking out, lost, confused, sad, and I threw down that last bit of money to hire her. I had a 3-month window financially to keep my life afloat, and I did it. And as a result of that, I'm here today with you. I took a risk. I hired the right person, I got the right help, and my life turned around. Through the course of working with Robin, I realized that I was the one holding myself back. I was the one that was anchoring myself. I had all of these limiting beliefs about money, about people, about my life. I learned that I believed that I couldn't be successful on my own. I was looking all around me to have people do it for me. Not only, I can be successful on my own, but I thought it was someone else's responsibility, my ex-husband's responsibility, my business's partner's responsibility, my parents' responsibility. No one was bailing me out, and I was frustrated. And I believed that I had to rely on others, and that just wasn't true. Through the course of hiring Robin, getting the help that I needed, I got out of my own way. I learned new systems and tools, and I had to be willing to renegotiate everything in my life. And that's what I teach my women today. How to eventually transform your life. And it all starts with your relationship with money. I believe that. I decided to leave my own firm. I started my own business. I stretched way outside my comfort zone to do that. It was quite a few years of stretching outside of my comfort zone. I had to learn how to focus on return on investment. I didn't know how to do that. I was just throwing money at problems, and I really wasn't tackling the right problems, putting my money in the right places. I learned how to set healthy boundaries. I learned with myself, with my money, with others. I learned how to say no. And because of that, I learned that for myself, and then I started teaching other people how to do the same thing. I started a program, which then at that point in 2016 and 2017, my first class launched April of 2017, and I called it the Sister Mentorship. It stands for Strong, Independent, Successful, Talented, Empowered for Results. And it was a 6-month mentorship where women could come and join my world. These are some of my clients, and transform their relationship with money. What's in the chat box? So cool, right? It was super cool. These women, one in particular here, they've all had huge success in their lives and their businesses. One of them has paid off over $30,000 in debt. This is just a few of them. The other one went from making nothing in her real estate business to over $10,000 a month. She bought a new car. She just bought her first condo, completely turned her life around. It took time, but those are some of the results of a couple of these women here in this slide presentation. There was still a problem though. I had one limiting belief, and this was about 2017 when all of this came to a head, where I realized that I was stuck in a belief, an old pattern. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and I believed that I needed a man to be successful. I believed that I had to stay in my marriage, even though it was so painful and it just wasn't working. And ultimately, I just decided I wasn't going to let fear run the show anymore, and I was going to take a risk. And I started making money in my business, and I worked really, really hard, and I stopped letting fear have me by the neck, right? I stopped letting it control things and make decisions for me. So I asked for a divorce, and I learned over time how to keep money really simple, because it has to be simple for me in order for me to know what I'm doing, for me to make choices. And that's what I teach my clients every single day, that when we keep things simple, when we keep life simple, when we keep money simple, we can make decisions and have a new reality. And I want that for you. I wrote a book. You've seen that. And I changed the sister mentorship to the academy, which I run today. This is just a few women in one of my workshops for the academy, where now I'm on fire for teaching women how to live on purpose, make purposeful choices with their money, keep money simple, so that you can love your life, that you can stop stressing, that you can have what you want, you can fulfill your dreams, whatever it is that you want. It's totally possible. I've done it. These women are doing it, and that's why we're here today. So who wants that, right? Who wants to go from no stress to feeling good about their life, feeling good about their direction, clarity on a path? All of those things, I know those are things that you want. Absolutely, positively. Absolutely, positively. Yes, so cool. Absolutely, I know you do. Okay, cool. I have a light on here that is slowly dimming. My bad, I didn't charge it, so I'm slowly gonna dim. So I apologize for that. Should have checked it before the webinar, but I didn't, but you can still hear me and see my face, so we're all good. As a result of transforming my life with money, keeping money simple, learning new tools, taking a risk, hiring the right coach, hiring the right support system, within 10 months of implementing new beliefs and behaviors, I was able to turn my business around, turn my life around, create a 6-figure business. Pretty cool. I'm helping people. I'm helping people that I love every single day. I'm newly remarried. Things are more stable for me. It's been a journey. This is my hubs. This is my son, who's now 12. He was 3 when I was going through all of that, starting my whole journey of transformation, my stepson, and my fun and funky new husband. Not only that, right? Not only did I do that, my clients are getting results. They're saving, they're paying down debt, they're finding love, they're creating meaningful careers, all by embracing and be willing to step outside of their own comfort zones, get coaching, and learn new things. After 40 years, I've been able to experience my dream. My dream is to be on this webinar with you. I wish we were in person somewhere in a really nice place, but I hope, knowing that you're here and I'm here, I've experienced my dream, and I want you to do the same. So are you ready to create those kinds of results for yourself? I know you are. I know you are. That's why you're here. Some way, shape, or form. I know that you want more. You want more with your money. And we are going to create that. We're going to talk about how you can do that. Aren't you stressed? Aren't you fed up with stressing about money? Who's fed up with stressing about money? Raise your hand, right? Who's fed up of stressing about money? Aren't you sick of being sold advice that doesn't work for you? This is the one thing about the finance industry, and I've heard it all. I've been in tons of conversations. Some of my best friends are financial advisors. There's a lot of advice out there that isn't working for you. You've tried it. Just like me, like literally wanting to hit my head up against the wall with budgets. I could not do a budget. It never made sense to me. And so that was a system that never worked for me. I couldn't get out of debt. And I know that that's the case for so many people. And this is the key. The finance industry, hey Nadine, yeah, the finance industry is missing something I realized that was missing as a part of my own journey. And I want to share those secrets with you today. Are you ready? Say ready, go, ready, go. I don't have my charger here for my light. So sad. Okay. Ready, go. All right. Here's what we're going to cover, okay? We're going to cover the 3 secrets that I have for this masterclass. 1, you've got to know your own money personality and how it's different from other people's money personalities. 2, you've got to know how to simply know your money, to look at it simply. I'm going to give you a formula today that is going to change your life. I promise you. And you've got to know the baby steps to growing your money and some more. Ready for that? Ready for that? Yeah. So here's the thing. You have your own money personality. The money industry is geared toward one specific money personality. And it's confusing. And then you get online and you're trying to read financial blogs and these people are like nerding out and you're like, I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. No, that sounds horrible and painful. I'd rather poke myself in the eye. Who's been there? I know I've been there. And these money personalities, there's systems and ways of being with money based on your own personality that you've got to know, and you've got to stop fighting with other people in your life, because it's probably that you just have different personalities when it comes to money. My parents have a complete opposite money personality from me. And because of that, that caused a lot of pain in our life together. We still don't see eye to eye on things. I'm a business owner. I'm the first female business owner in my family history. That doesn't make sense for my family. They're like, no, play it safe, save, have health insurance, keep it safe. Maybe you can relate to that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if that's not your true personality, you're going to hit your head up against the wall trying to be someone that you're not. So here's the formula for beliefs, money beliefs. Your beliefs plus your behaviors equal your bank account. Write that down, save that. Think about that. This is what my book digs into, right? So if you stay to the end, you're going to get a PDF of my book. Your beliefs, what you believe about money, they're probably limiting beliefs. A lot of us have just limiting beliefs. We can change those beliefs. Plus your behaviors, thanks Stacy, equal your bank account. Beliefs plus behaviors equal bank account. So how you believe, what you believe about money, a good example of belief is money's hard to make. How many of you have that belief that money's hard to make? Well, if you believe that money's hard to make, you're going to make different decisions. You're going to do different things with your money than someone who believes it's easy to make. And then you're going to have different results in your bank account. So the results that you have in your bank account today, whether they're great or small, all come back to what you believe and how you behave, right? And this is a good example. This is our first money personality. This is the shopaholic money personality. Okay, these money types have been modified from my mentor Robin. She does the 5 money types, and these have been altered from hers. And now I'm teaching them as my own, but she's the one that taught me these. With shopaholic, these are the people that spend money like water. Maybe that's you. It comes in, it goes out. Maybe it's someone you're in a relationship with. That's my husband. He loves to shop. He's an impulsive spender. He doesn't think through things. And if you're not a shopaholic money personality, you're like, oh my gosh, what is this person doing, right? Money's like going in and out like crazy. It goes fast. These are the kind of people who will show up to a car lot in the morning. They'll wake up and they're like, I'm going to buy a car today. Like super impulsive. They're throwing money at problems too. Sometimes that was me in my 20s for sure. And if you have a shopaholic money personality, what I want you to hear is that it's actually a really abundant money personality. There's just some things that aren't working for you about it. And if we can tweak certain things with how you see your money, I don't tell shopaholic money personalities to not spend money. That would be like torture for you, right? And if you're in a relationship with someone who's a shopaholic, as soon as you tell them to stop spending, they're going to be like, No. I'm not going to shop. I'm not going to stop spending. But ultimately, it'll cause pain if you don't have money in the bank and if you're spending more than you make. So that's what happens for shopaholics, is you end up spending more than you make. You're not tracking it. You've got to start tracking it, but it's abundant, right? Shopaholics are like the life of the party. They'll come in and buy everybody a drink. So abundant in giving, but we've got to keep it in check, okay? Penny pincher is the opposite of shopaholic. If you're a penny pincher, you're that person that's in the financial box of budgeting and analyzing, and people who are penny pinchers like to watch their money grow steadily. They take a long time to make decisions. They're analytical when it comes to their money, which is very different from the shopaholic. Very impulsive, right? If you've got a shopaholic and a penny pincher in a relationship, you've got a lot of conflict. And I work with couples who have different personalities. One wants to save, 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 save. This person actually tends to hoard money, which isn't necessarily the healthiest thing to do. Hoarding money isn't healthy either. And penny pinchers like cash. They like to sit on cash, which means that they're not necessarily taking risks or investing their money. And that causes a totally different conversation when it comes to money. That has different problems associated with it, right? Shopaholic, free with money, spends money like crazy. Penny pincher on the opposite end of things, doesn't like to spend money at all. Not great. Either one of them are not great if you're not doing the right things with money. And the other people in your life don't know that you have this different value system when it comes to money. So let's open that conversation up, right? I inherited my parents' beliefs to pinch pennies. Not that I don't believe in saving. Right now, we're doing a stack the cash challenge in my academy prep. We're just saying stack the cash, get money in savings. Every money personality can do that. But where it was strangling me is that I don't actually believe certain things when it comes to money. I believe investing in yourself. I believe in taking risk. I believe in return on investment. Not that my parents didn't, but they were just like always in a scarcity conversation, and that didn't work for me because I wanted to take risks, right? Nadine asks, can you be both a shopaholic and a penny pincher? It's not likely that your behaviors, what might end up being is one of those is who you are authentically. The other one could be inherited belief systems. So you're holding on to past learned behaviors or systems, or you're smart enough and you're like, okay, well, that makes sense. But it's likely that you're probably more naturally one of these over the other, but you have conflicting points of view. You learn different things about money. I have clients whose parents, maybe one was a shopaholic, one was a penny pincher, and they were just confused because they had seen their parents do different things when it comes to money. So I have a money type quiz that you can take to see where you're at on that spectrum. And then what I do in my coaching programs is we talk about systems that work for every money type, or ways of being in conversation so you can accept who you are authentically. That happens over time as you develop new systems and behaviors. The third money type that I talk about and teach is the bleeding heart money type. Courtney says, my parents were shopaholics and had a lot, then lost almost all of it. So I have a fear of loss. Totally get it. They were shopaholics who weren't, they were abundant, maybe they were creating a lot of money. You'll hear a shopaholic say, I can always go out and make more money. But because of that, they're not saving, or they're not taking the right precautions or protecting their money the way that they should, which is totally possible as a shopaholic. Good thoughts, Courtney. So then it's like, well, who am I? Like, who am I? If my parents were like that, but I don't want to be like that. Maybe you've moved to the polar opposite, to the penny pincher personality, but that's not authentically who you are either. So let me share the rest of these. Maybe you're one of these, which is the bleeding heart. This is the giver. This person wakes up in the morning and they ask the question, who can I serve today? Who can I help today? These are people who give so much of themselves financially and otherwise that they wake up every single day and they want to give. But what happens financially is if you don't have systems, you don't have tools, you don't have a place to control it, to set boundaries, which is what I had to do, set boundaries, clear boundaries with myself and others, is you don't have anything to show for yourself at the end of the day. And it's possible that you're resentful toward other people because you're so busy giving, but you're not getting it back in return. And that doesn't work financially or otherwise. So you can be more like Oprah as a bleeding heart. Give, but charge your worth. A lot of bleeding hearts don't charge their worth. They don't ask for a raise. They don't negotiate. They have a self-worth conversation that's much bigger than possibly other money personalities. And that holds you back from getting the results that you want. And some of you might be listening to this or watching this and going, oh shit, that's me. I totally get it. I totally get it. The bleeding hearts are some great, amazing people. I love working with bleeding hearts. We just have to start with setting boundaries and having the right systems. So when you say no, you have clarity that you're saying no for the right reasons, not just to say no, because that's really hard for the bleeding heart. We've got the dreamer. That's me. I'm the dreamer. I think big. I dream big. I always have. Always have. I was like, yeah, you'll hear a dreamer say, I can go make $1 million, but they never have. So sometimes these dreamers are a bit delusional, right? A bit delusional about what they can create because they're so busy dreaming. What happens financially is you'll see dreamers take a lot of risks. Some of them will pay off and some of them won't. So if this is your personality, you just need to make sure you're taking calculated risks, and also that you complete one big dream before you go after the other. A lot of dreamers have multiple dreams, you're trying to open multiple businesses at the same time, for example, and never one of them takes off. So as a dreamer, let's just get you taking the right action. If you want $1 million, you've got to 10x your activity in the right way. And dreamers, we're so busy dreaming and we talk a big game and we want to look successful and appear successful, but we've got to be taking the right action. For me in my business, that's what's happening. I wasn't taking the right action and it was showing up big time financially. And once I started taking the right action with the right coaching, boom, everything exploded. Pretty awesome, right? Head in the clouds. This is our final money personality. If this is you, you're not alone. I have a lot of clients who are the head in the clouds kind of money personality. Basically, this could be a head in the clouds or an ostrich. So when it comes to your money or it comes to a problem in your life, you will put your head in the sand and you'll ignore it. Maybe that resonates with some of you. You'll be like, nah, no big deal. No big deal. Just ignore it. And if I don't think about it, then I'm not going to have a problem. But ultimately what happens is things end up blowing up or exploding. Problems get worse because you're not dealing with things. So if you're a head in the clouds kind of personality, you want to look on the bright side of things. There's no problem with that. But I know for me with my ex-husband, he was always wanting to avoid important conversations, avoid money conversations, avoid conflict. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But you're not taking any action potentially, even if you have the money to pay your bills. It's possible you do, you just don't look at it. And so that it just feels too big, too overwhelming, and you don't end up dealing with it at all. So you've got to get people to help you and just take baby steps one at a time. Okay, maybe that resonates with you. So who do you think you are? I'd love to have you put your comments in the chat box. A total dreamer. Yep, me too. You're in good company. The thing with the money personalities is when I have a boot camp, which is a day-long event, and we dig deep into these money personalities and we talk about how you strategically, A says that they're a dreamer for sure. Yeah, that's good. Dreaming's awesome. Be like Tony Robbins, but actually go make it happen, right? A lot of us don't end up making it happen, and then we get frustrated and other people in our life are frustrated with us. You've got to take the right action. And in my boot camp, and in my money personalities talk, I have a whole talk dedicated to this. You can really learn where you're at, what needs to transform, what you want to keep, what you want to tweak. And we've got to design the right money systems for you to make decisions. For example, a money system that we'll create for the shopaholic money personality is you'll open up a spending account and you'll fund it. And you'll only spend with clarity. You have that to spend, go spend it. But when it's gone, it's gone. Right? My husband's a spender. He gets $200 a week. When it's gone, it's gone. I don't ask questions. He feels freed up to spend, and I feel freed up that I get to have a plan for all the other money that we have in our household, right? That's one example of a good system that works. Matt says that you're a reformed shopaholic turned penny pincher. That happens too, where you're like, I'm tired of this. Maybe there's a balance between the two. I have a couple where she's not a penny pincher. He is. And she just felt strangled. She felt strangled. There wasn't any freedom. So it's okay to give yourself some freedom, but you got to have clarity, right? You don't want to hoard all your money because that's not healthy either. Good thoughts. Good thoughts. So you've got to know your money personality. There's no one size fits all. Hopefully you see the diversity in these money personalities. Everybody behaves differently in the world, and the finance industry is trying to put you into this box. When I do this presentation to financial experts, majority of the room are penny pincher personalities. Nothing wrong with that, but we've got to acknowledge that there are some people that aren't like that, and we have to open up the conversation. No way is the wrong way. Stop trying to fit into the box. Let's get your box right. Let's get you on your own path. So secret number 2 is then you've got to know your money. You've got to know your money personality, and then you've got to know your money. With over half of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, the truth is that most people don't know their money. They don't know how to look at their money. And so you'll never grow your money in the direction that you want to grow it because you don't know what you're doing. So to discover the right steps with your money, you've got to gain clarity about what you're actually making and spending every single month. This is hard for some people to do because they don't want to look at it. Hello, head in the clouds. You don't want to look at it, but this is going to have a profound impact in your ability to get off the financial roller coaster. I want you off the financial roller coaster just as badly as you want off. Okay. So here's the first step that you can take. This is one of the best ways for you to get started. Answer this question. Do you know what you make, spend, and keep every month? Do you know in that order? Have you ever looked at your money in that way? Let's look back. It's the end of April. Can you answer the question for the month of April, what you made, what you spent, and what was actually left over? When was the last time you looked at your money 3 months in a row? You had, let's say, February, March, and April lined up next to each other, and you answered that question. What did I make? What did I spend? What did I keep? Right? Not likely. It's not likely you've done this before. Most people in my world have never looked at their money in this way before. We're too busy trying to figure out when bills are going out because you don't know that either. Okay? You have to have clear and easy systems. The head in the clouds. Yeah, Carolina, hold on to that. I will come back to it at the end. If you want me to explain it, I will, and you'll get the replay of this also, but I can come back to it at the end. Hold on to it. Stacy's moderating this for us, and we will get that for you. You're welcome. I've started daily money meetings with myself in December. I can analyze it in over, yes, you should analyze it for 3 months in a row. And I've got a tool for that. So stay till the end. I'll tell you what that tool is. But here's the problem, right? In your household, here's what's happening. You make some money, you're spending more than you're making, and there's barely any, if any, left over at the end of the month. And when I do this exercise with my clients, and I've got a worksheet for you, so hang on till the end. When I do this with my clients, the problem is that they're actually negative every single month. They're negative, like $1,000, $2,000. Some of my clients are negative $3,000, $4,000 a month. Why is that? I'm gonna take a drink. Why is that? You guess, right? It's because they're spending on credit cards. They're spending on credit cards, so they have this illusion that they actually have money in the bank. But when they do this, they realize that they're spending way more than they're making, which keeps them in the negative month to month to month. If you keep going in the negative month to month to month, what happens? You're in debt. You're declaring bankruptcy. You're losing your house, whatever that is, right? It's scary. Then there's some of you who you make good money, you spend relative, you're keeping a little more, right? Like you're spending actually more, but because you make more, you can spend more, and maybe there's a little bit left over. And then some of you are like this, where there's a little balance, but still you're not really sure, and it's likely that you could be keeping more at the end of the month, and that's what I want for you, is to keep more at the end of the month so that you can have more for later in life, right? We want to retire some time. So here's a healthy balance. What you make, right? Whatever that is. So I work with clients, full transparency, I work with clients who make $40,000 a year, $30,000 a year. I work with clients who make millions a year, right? This formula works no matter how much money you make. When you look at your money month to month in your business or in your household, and you answer this question, what am I making, spending, and keeping? A light bulb goes off, and you start to understand what's working and what's not working in your life. It's a really easy way for you to track your money. And then you got to track it, right? This masterclass is about keeping it simple. If you did this one thing, if you did this one thing and you tracked it for 3 months in a row, what would you see that you may not want to see that would help you transform your relationship with money? That's a question for you, right? So those are secrets 1 and 2. You have a money personality. Your money personality are your beliefs and your behaviors, different for every money personality. And then you got to know your money. If you just started there with me today, your life with money will transform. We can keep it that simple. The truth is that in my world, we just track. We track for the first few months. We track for the entire relationship that we're together. And at a certain point, you'll get new results. I have clients who've completely transformed the results that they have. They have money and savings more than they ever thought that would be possible. They're paying down debt, but we got to keep it simple. And this is exactly where we keep it simple today. Stacy says, see what I may not want to see, but then you know what's holding you back. Exactly. So I know that there are those of you who are like, all right, Lisa, I'm in. I'm in. I get it. Oh, look, I'm wearing the same shirt. I get it. I'm in. Are you ready to take things to the next level? I know you are. I know you are. We're at that point in the webinar where I want to make sure that for those of you who do have to leave, you have an opportunity to hear how we can work together and what next steps you can take. I'm going to go through this with you. This is my offer to you today. These are some next steps that you can take with me. And then I'm going to jump into secret number 3. So stay for secret number 3, which is all about how to grow your money. You take the first 2 steps, but then I want to talk about how to grow your money because some of you are anxious to hear that. So we're going to go through that after I go through what's next. You know, some of you are ready to jump in. So my academy, the value of my academy, it's a 1-year program and the value is $21,000. I don't offer that on this webinar. I wouldn't do that to you. That sounds really stressful and crazy for you. I don't even charge that. That's not actually what I actually charge for the academy. But I know if you were to pay that, you would get major results in your life, just like the women that are in my academy today are. I don't charge that, but I wanted you to know that this is definitely a possibility. And if you're ready for that next step, let me know. But for most of you, I had to think about what was going to make the most sense for you today based on the fact that we're all dealing with this financial chaos. We don't even know in Vegas if we're going to reopen or not. We have a governor's conference today to figure it out. And so I was like, well, I have to make this affordable. I have to. And so I did that. And I have a one-time offer for you today to join my Academy Prep. This is a monthly membership that I have. You can take the first steps. You're going to get the Kiss Your Money worksheet that you can know what you're making, spending, and keeping. You're going to get a whole bunch of things as a part of joining my world. My Academy Prep it's a 1-month membership to join my private Facebook group and get all the tools. Right there today, you could log in and you could get all of my tools and training videos to get started on your path to knowing your money today. The cost of that is $97 typically. On top of that, you're going to get my money course, which is in that. There's units that you can follow in the private Facebook group to access the tools, to take the right steps, to get going in a new direction. You're going to get the money worksheet that I have that all of my clients start with, and you're going to get the 3-month money tracker. So answering your question, I think that was Courtney who said that she does money dates with herself, that you could get this sheet and you could just run through it really quickly and understand what's actually happening month to month to month with your finances. It's super, super powerful. The total value of that is $394. On top of that, you're going to get my simple money tracker. So think of this as stepping stones, right? Think of this as how I explain it as a 7-layer dip. With a 7-layer dip, everybody likes the stuff on top. If you know what that is, it's the sour cream and the avocado and the cheese. But the crux of the 7-layer dip is the refried beans, right? With my simple money tracker, we get there. That's the ultimate tool for you to start tracking your money 12 months. You can track your money for 12 months. You're going to get the simple money tools that baby step you into this in looking at your money simply. What am I making, spending, and keeping every single month? And then you're going to get me live on Facebook and we can interact. I can answer questions. You're going to get all of that. The value of that's $543. On top of that, you're going to get a ticket to boot camp where you can come and get to know your own money type. Right now, I'm in the process of changing that live event to an online event. So we're going to have one sooner than later where you can join me for boot camp. If you stay with me in Academy Prep for 3 months, you can come to boot camp. You're going to know your money. You're going to be tracking your money. You're going to be in a private community with me. You're going to get to know me and my women who are awesome. and you get to come to boot camp. That'll probably be an online event before it's a live event, and all of that valued at $792. But I'm not going to stop there. I'm not going to stop there. This is just what Amy says about boot camp. You can go back and read it. You're going to get my book, right? I'm going to give you my book. And ultimately, these tools are going to help you find systems that work, stress less, help you gain confidence, right? And help you feel so lost, like stop feeling so lost and overwhelmed. You're going to save time and money. And I want you to do that today. Okay. So let me fast forward through this really quick because I forgot one slide. Stacey, I forgot the slide. Here's the offer. You can join my Academy Prep for $47 today. $47, a one-time payment. You can use this link, and it renews every month for $47. It would typically be $97, and then you'd buy all these separate things, these tools and programs separately. But because we're here and I want you to take action, and I'm so passionate about this, I'll even give you your money back if you find it not valuable, right? So $47 today. You can enroll now. You can use this link. And now I'm going to go back to growing your money, right? So you can join Academy Prep. You can get to know your money. You can get to know your money personality. You can have new conversations at home. If you go through this exercise with your loved ones and they see it too, you can all get moving on a new path, in a new direction. And for your kids even, my son's like, Mom, what are you doing? I show him my money. I show him how I'm doing it. And he's like, oh, that makes sense. Cool. It's an easy way for you to start creating new financial results. And I know you want that. So let me go back to growing your money. Okay. So you stayed through the offer, which I appreciate you doing that, but let's talk about growing your money. The finance industry is selling you investment advice all day long. Yes? Yes, you're getting financial advice all day long. People are selling you where to invest, how to invest, go into the stock market, don't go into the stock market. But the truth is that most people, because you don't know your money, you're not saving, which is why this isn't just a pandemic, it's a financial crisis, because people don't save. You're not saving strategically. You don't know how to do it. You don't know your money. And so we can talk about investing all day long, which is where the finance industry is heavily geared toward. Buy insurance, buy these products, make sure you get your 401k set up, or make sure you get an IRA, all of that, which is confusing if you don't know your money and if you're not saving for the right things first. So we're going to talk about that. And I know that's important to you. Most people don't understand the language of finances. For me, that was like me. I was like learning a new language. It felt like learning Italian when I became a financial advisor. It took me 3 years to master it. And I failed the test a couple times. It was hard. And if you're trying to learn money and you're trying to learn it in the financial industry jargon, it's very hard to do. And I want to save you the time and the money, and I want to shortcut it, and I want to keep it simple. So here's how you grow your money, okay? Today, there are people in the United States who are making more money on unemployment than they have made before with a paycheck. Maybe that's you. One of my clients, she's in a fortunate situation to be still living at home, but she's 23. She's got a little 2-year-old girl. She's staying at home right now, and she's making more on unemployment, more steadily than she was before. And she's been able to so far save $1,700. How many of you would like to do that? You can save the money that you need to save so that when we come out of this, you've actually got a leg up. You've got a leg up. And with money in the bank, then you can actually start paying down debt and doing other things that you want to be doing. Who wants to do that, right? So you've got to know your money. That's step one. And then you've got to create the right systems. The systems that I share, the Simple Money Tracker, the 3-month money tracker, those are systems for you to track your money. Another example I gave for the shopaholic was setting up a spending account. I talk about this in my book, so you'll get my book today for staying till the end. If you just did this one thing, if you just took your spending money, once you know your money and once you have clarity on what you actually have to spend, and you put that money in a spending account, all you have to do is track that account. When you have your debit card attached to that one spending account and the rest of your bills are being paid out of your bills account and you're spending out of that spending account, it's a lot easier to control it. And it's a lot easier for you to know and answer the question, what money do I have to spend today? The problem is a lot of you are spending out of one account, the same account that you're paying your bills out of. And because you don't have systems, you're looking at your account, you're logging onto your app, you're saying, okay, I have money today, I can spend it. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't have money because you have bills coming out in 2 days that you don't plan for. And that's what creates the feeling of a roller coaster. So write this down. Write this down. If you don't have systems and tools for tracking your money, if you don't have systems for making decisions with your money, every decision you're making is emotional. Every single one. 65% of American women would rather talk about their death than money. So I applaud you for being here first and foremost, because it's not easy. But people would rather talk about dying than talking about their money. No wonder people say that women are more emotional with their money. It's not really that we're more emotional. Men are emotional too. It's just that we're not managing our money maybe in the way that we could be. And then it feels emotional. It feels like a roller coaster. So creating systems, right? Creating systems is the best way for you to get on a new path, okay? And then you can grow your money. I promise you, you can grow your money. It'll happen fast. Tracking and managing your money weekly. Courtney said she does that. That's awesome. So you have a plan. You know when your bills go out. If you don't know that, do that today. Make a list of all of the bills that go out. Put them in order. You can grab my Know Your Money worksheet today if you join the Academy Prep today. Start making that list. I've seen families and I've seen households do it all kinds of ways, and it's not working, and then you feel frustrated, and then you don't have anything to show for yourself, and then you give up, and I don't want that for you. You've got to learn how to save. That's step number 4. You have to train yourself how to save. It's actually a new habit and a new rhythm that you've got to create. Here are your growth priorities. We have a question in chat. Maybe that's just Stacy. I track and save. I just don't know how to make that money work for me. Good question, Matt. You track and save. You don't know how to make that money work for you. That's the investing part, right? So first and foremost, let me show you this. This might actually help, okay? You've got to learn first and foremost how to invest in yourself. A lot of people are intimidated to walk into a room or walk into a financial advisor office because you don't want to feel stupid. And I get that, because financial advisors' offices, I felt intimidated to walk into one. I felt like I was going to feel stupid. And they look beautiful. The ones that I've been in, they're amazing. They're marble and they're intimidating and they're grand, and they're all about, like, you're afraid they're going to ask questions. You're afraid to show your money to people. So first and foremost, be willing to invest in yourself. And you could start by hiring a money coach to do that. So that's one way. And the other way is to hire a mentor and someone who knows about money. Don't ask somebody who doesn't know anything about money. I talk about that in my book. You've got to be around people who know about money and ask them to mentor you. Because if you're saving, we're going to talk about different ways to be saving next. So maybe this will help. And if you get to a point where you're ready to invest, you just don't know where to start, I'd love to help you get on that path, or introduce you to someone that I know, love, and trust that can help you start investing. Taking a basics investing course that would never be a bad option either. They have those around. I can give you those referrals. You got to know your worth. So start here. If you don't know exactly how to do that, start with tracking your worth, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Stop resisting debt, okay? If you have debt, it's a part of life. It's in the past, actually. Every time you look at your debt, it's a past activity. It's already happened. You can't change it. You can start working with it, though, by knowing what you're making, spending, and keeping, and looking at that keeping bucket strategically. How much of that money do you want to go toward debt? How much of that money do you want to save, right? That keep is instrumental in your ability to grow wealth, okay? So we've got to flip that around and have a bigger keep at the end of the month first. And there are times when you should not invest, okay? If you're like a baby beginner investor and you're interested in the market right now, get help, get guidance. Don't try to invest on your own. It's a pretty rocky market right now. It wouldn't make sense for you to try to do it on your own. Take a class, learn from a professional, take that first step. Master this. This is what I teach my women in my academy. We don't do it in Academy Prep, although I do have a worksheet for you if you want to try it on your own. the net worth formula. You've never been taught this, some of you. That's why you don't really track it. Not just tracking your money month to month, but tracking your net worth month to month. If you're looking at your net worth month to month and you see it growing, that feels good. The only way we get to retirement is by having a positive net worth. People need to retire with millions of dollars in the bank. If you're not tracking your net worth, how will you ever get there? You have to have a baseline for tracking and a baseline for growing. So today, be willing to calculate your net worth. Some of you don't want to do that. It's scary because you're like, shoot, it's negative. It's possible. Maybe it's not, though. You might be surprised. Your net worth is everything that you own. These are all of your assets, your cash accounts, your investment accounts, your assets like your home, your cars, whatever you own. And then you're going to subtract whatever you owe from what you own. So for example, you might have assets worth $200,000. That would be your condo, your car, your cash accounts, right? And then what you owe, which would be your car loan, your credit cards, you got to total those up and see what the difference is. See what the difference is, right? And then monthly, track your net worth. If your net worth goes up, that means you're paying down debt, and that means you're saving more. That's what we want. And in my world, we focus heavily on tracking your net worth. So if you don't know what to do, start there, and then find someone who can help you make the most sense of that keep bucket that you do have so that you can start slowly growing it and making it work for you. Okay? Emergency savings first. This is what I call in my world the oh shit bucket. And I'll tell you why. If there's something in your life, there's an emergency bucket, you have it set aside. And what is a real emergency cost in your life? It just depends on the size of your life, right? I have a client who had a water main break in his house and he was out $4,000. That's an oh shit moment, right? So a savings bucket, one savings bucket. You can have multiple savings accounts. I recommend that you have different savings accounts for different goals that you have. In my house, we have an oh shit bucket. It's a couple $1,000s that I keep in there all the time. I've got 2 kids and 2 dogs. So if something goes down with one of them, I've got enough there where it doesn't drain the whole account and that I can handle the emergency first and then come back to my finances. The last thing you ever want to have to do in a crisis is worry about money. Yes? Your tire blows. You get in a car accident. The last thing you want to have to worry about is money. And usually the first thing we go to is, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay for this? So the first goal you should have is have an emergency reserve set aside, depending on the size of your life. A lot of experts will say $1,000. That's not necessarily going to get you through a whole emergency, right? That's not a robust savings account. It's just enough to get you through an emergency, okay? Then once you've met that first goal, then you take some of the money that you have left over at the end of the month and you slowly start to grow a reserve bucket. I know some of you have heard aggressively pay down debt. Some experts tell you to aggressively pay down debt. I think you should get these first steps going. And once they're going and you feel like you have a rhythm of saving and you're learning how to save, then you can start paying down debt more aggressively. Grow your reserve bucket. $50, $100 a month. Slowly just keep adding to it, set it and forget it, let it grow over time. You've got your emergency bucket, and then you can have this reserve bucket. And the goal is to have at least 3 months. Some experts will say 6 to 9 months, which over time that makes sense. But if you're not used to saving, it sounds way far-fetched and not attainable. I want it to make attainable. Get 1 month of income set aside in that reserve bucket, and then get 2 months set aside in that reserve bucket, and then get 3 months, and then keep building on that. Set it, forget it, don't touch it. You've got to make sure your taxes are planned for, right? Make sure you're either paying enough out of your W-2 wage, or if you're 1099, you're setting money aside for that. You don't want to owe money at the end of the year, but you don't want to get a big refund either. A big refund means that you gave the government more money than you needed to, and they took that money interest-free. If you're planning taxes right, you shouldn't owe much or anything. Oops, my email just popped up. Go away, email. Hang on just a second. I don't know how to fix that. Stop share. Look at my face. My email does that. Oh, silly. Okay, back to savings. Okay, I'm going to get back on here, but what questions do you have? I'm going to stop there really quick. So you've got to have your emergency reserve, right? And then you've got to have money set aside, slowly but surely growing it over time, okay? What questions do you have? I'll answer a question. I've got some messages. Should you look for a mentor or someone on understanding your spending personalities? Yes, that's me. Someone's got to know your spending personality so they know how to coach you. I think starting with a financial coach is the best place to start when it comes to your money personalities. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Technical difficulties. One moment, please. Hold, please. Okay. Back on track. Let me grab my share screen. Thanks for holding in there with me, guys. Share my screen. Woo, back on track. Okay. And then once you have a rhythm of saving, it makes total sense for you to like heavily try to, get your retirement account going. But we spend so much time stressing about retirement that we don't really save, and then you don't have money in the bank, and that keeps you in scarcity. So get some money in the bank, set it aside, tuck it away, have a rainy day fund, have a reserve bucket growing, make sure your taxes are planned for. The best time to plan for your taxes is going to be in September, October, because your CPAs are freed up because tax season's over. All right, most of them tax season's over by then. So get in touch with a CPA or tax planner way before January or February, and make sure you're saving enough, you don't owe anything, but that you're not going to get a huge refund either. And then consider other investments. So that was the question. Saving other investments like saving for a house, other investments like getting into the stock market, other investments that aren't retirement accounts. So there are other kinds of investments. You can buy stock, you can invest in companies. There's all kinds of things that you can do, but these things need to be working in your life first, and then you can go look for other opportunities. So hopefully that answered your question. Okay, so those are my secrets. Know your money personality, know your money, slowly learn how to grow your money over time. So many of us are focused and hate having debt. I totally get this. I gave this advice. I actually give this advice out, and it's hard for me. I did a Facebook Live on this yesterday. It's hard for me even to follow my own advice, because some people are drilling it down your throat. Get out of debt, get out of debt, get out of debt. Well, first of all, you have to learn how to stop getting into debt. You've got to save for travel, right? There's saving to spend. They're saving to save. And if you're not saving for travel, what happens? You put it on a credit card, and that credit card more than likely doesn't get paid off. That's how we get into debt over and over and over again. We're not saving for things that we actually want to buy. Learn how to do that, and then we'll get you out of debt. You got to learn how to get out of debt, or stay out of debt first, okay? Good chats, all kinds of stuff going on here. Let me get through this, and then Matt and Ann, I will come back to your questions. Tools and resources. Kiss your money. Keep it simple. That's available through Academy Prep. I would love to give that to you. 3-month money tracker. Once you've mastered what's actually happening, what bills are coming in and out, go back. I had a question on my last masterclass. Well, how do I get a handle on, I'm a gig employee. I make cash, tips. I work in a restaurant, right? How do I know what to plan for? If you go back and look at 3 months worth of history, you'll get a better idea of what's actually routinely coming in every single month, and you can start planning on that baseline. Usually there's a certain number, there's an average that you're making. Some months you'll make more than that, but most months, if you track back, you'll see that you're making at least that, and then you can start planning accordingly. I have a financial future prediction test. Some of you got there took my financial future prediction test to get to this masterclass. We have that available. You're more than welcome to email me, and I'll send it your way. Come to boot camp, learn your money personality, learn your beliefs and behaviors with money. Start with my book. So at the end of each chapter of my book, you can do exercises. I have couples that will do these exercises together. You start to dial back and into the awareness of why you really do what you do. Some of my clients are like, why do I do that? And I'm like, I don't know. Let's look at it. Let's track your history. Let's look forward, and let's work on your mindset along the way. Okay, these are all of the tools and systems. There's actually way more than that in my world, but today, if you started with these tools, you would be moving in a much new direction financially, I promise you. So what's next? We're gonna go to Q&A. Well, you can do nothing, right? You can be like, high five, Lisa, thanks, this was great information. You can do it yourself, which absolutely positively is possible for you. You can do it yourself. You can get the tools. You can join Academy Prep for 1 month, get the tools, and then cancel, right? Or you can stay with me, right, and keep growing with me, or you can have me help you in an affordable way. And that's what I would love for you to do. A lot of that was a lot of information, and you might be thinking, where do I start? I highly recommend that you start with Academy Prep. You get the money tracker, the Kiss Your Money worksheet, you start there. Once you've mastered that, you do the 3-month money tracker. Once you've mastered that, you do the simple money tracker, and you stay in touch with me. I go live very regularly in my Facebook private group. Come to boot camp, get to know me, keep tracking, keep having this conversation, keep showing up for yourself, and keep learning. I think that's the best thing for you to do at the end of the day, is keep learning, keep growing. Try to keep it simple though. Okay, keep it simple. Money can be simple, I promise you. And the more simple it is, the more progress you're gonna make. If all this did was avoid one overdraft fee, if all this did was help you spend less interest on a credit card, if all this did was help you put $100 in savings, wouldn't it be worth it? Wouldn't it be worth it to finally get moving on a new track, right? Don't you want money to be fun? I like to keep it fun. I like to keep it simple. We do dance parties at my events, right? There's like no one else on the planet that does money this way, because it's usually a little sad, a little boring. It can be a little dry. I don't want that for you. I want you to love your life, and I would love for you to start doing that with me. So you've got 2 choices, right? 2 choices. 1, do nothing. 2, take action. Whatever you do, take action. Have a conversation with someone you love. Join Academy Prep, and join me. That was a lot of words, and I'm going to stop there. So let's go to question and answer, because I want to make sure we do that today, and I'm available to you. Thanks for putting that in there, Stacy. That's everything that you're going to get. Thanks for coming, Carolina. Okay, Anne. Do you recommend building your own savings before investing in your 401k? I do. Yes, I highly. So what happens? What happens if you don't have your own savings? When you get in trouble, when you don't have the money, take me for a good example. I was out of money. So where did I turn? To my 401k, because I had done a really great job of saving in my 401k. But when shit hit the fan, essentially, I started pulling from my 401k. So I was good at saving there, but nowhere else. And eventually that caught up with me. So yes, invest in yourself, look at your net worth, see where all your money is. Let's tackle those first 2 savings goals first, and then start putting money away more. You can max out your 401k, all of that, but you've got to have a good rhythm of saving in your own life, because if you don't, when you need the money, it's only going to be in your 401k. And then what do? You take it out of your 401k, and that never feels good. So hopefully that answered your question. How can I calculate the right amount to allocate for taxes? That's a good question. And with your tax planner, based on what you file this year, it's a little too late for this year, but get everything filed for this year. And then meet with as soon as the deadline's actually July 15th this year, but as soon as that is done and wrapped up, give your CPA or your tax planner a month to rest. And then in August or September, get back with them and start planning for future years based on this year. It's a little quick. This year's a little different, right? But you can set up quarterly payments even, or make sure that you have the right amount of deductions coming out of your paycheck. If you're a W-2 or as a 1099, we can look at your tax planner can look at your profit and loss statement and help you understand based on that what you should be saving for future years. So great question. Hopefully that helps you get on the straight and narrow with them. Last question, Nadine says, should you look for a mentor? Or I think I answered that. Is it okay with just someone who knows best money mastering for them? I think personally, there are people who know a lot about money who've gotten great results for themselves. But the question is, I think the test is for a mentor, is can they get other people the same results, knowing that not everybody's the same. There are a lot of experts out there. Yes, there are a lot of people out there sharing information. There are a lot of blogs. I'm familiar with that. I follow other people who write financial blogs. And the problem with that is they may have gotten those results for themselves. They may have done certain things certain ways for themselves, but can they get you those results? That's the mentor test. That's why I hired my mentor, because she wasn't just getting those results for herself. She learned how to coach and mentor people to get those results for them, for their own lives. And that matters. So make sure that you have someone in your corner who can do it for you, help you create results for yourself in addition to for themselves. Hopefully that answered your question. We are at the end of the hour. Question from Matt. Do you think that robo investors like Robinhood and Acorns are worthwhile? I do. For example, I have a client who uses Wealthfront, and she tucks money aside in Wealthfront and she kind of sets it and forgets it. Same thing with Acorns. The problem is, again, going back to those strategies, I think that those would be good robo advisors for that short-term account, for that 3 or 6 month savings goal that you have, because it's relatively liquid. You can pull that money out pretty easily without a lot of financial loss. And so if it takes 3 or 4 days to get that money, but if you need it, it's there. But again, just make sure you have a strategy for it. Otherwise, you're going to end up pulling it out anyway. And so, yeah, those are good options. There's Elvest, there's Wealthfront, there's Acorns. All of those apps are vetted and monitored by the SEC. They're required to make choices in the best interest of their clients. Not all of them are fiduciaries. We can talk about that. I have an event coming up actually called Elevate, where we talk more about that. Keep an eye out for that, and we'll dig into that conversation. Good questions. Okay. Woo! 10:08. What I'm going to do is say thank you to all of you for staying. I'm going to share my screen one more time. If you're interested in joining me in Academy Prep, this is the link. It's just $47. Normally it's $97 just to come into my private group, but it's $47. You'll get all of the tools that you need. You'll get access to me in my community. I can't think of a better way to invest in yourself today. If you're looking for the help that you need, it's a very affordable way to do that. Thank you for being here. Again, I'm Lisa Chastain, your host of the Masterclass for Girl Get Your Shit Together. I'm going to say goodbye. Please respond to me through email if you have other questions, and I can't wait to see you in Academy Prep. Thank you so much for being here today and for going through my financial challenges, not my financial challenges, my tech challenges with me as well. I'll see you all again soon. Stay connected. Let me know how it's going. Bye.